Hello, it's Mike at TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your 2024 Jayfeather 29 QBH travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite and a couple things to think about when you're parking. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for that awning. On your off campsite, of course we're going to leave room for a slide, but I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to be all the way on the rear corner on your off camp side or your driver's side of your tow vehicle, and then your water connection is going to be up toward the front here. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive, unhook your hitch. First thing you do is level your unit. And it comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light. Should you arrive at night, simply raise or lower the unit until you're level. Now should you lose power, under this rubber stopper, your shoulder of your two hand cranks will get down on there and get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery post every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. Once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. Got these new quick drop stabilizing jacks under your little safety chain here. We're going to crank this to the right about 2 times. Once, twice. Now I can get a hold of this, lift up on it. I might have to go a little further. It's quicker with 2 hands, trust me. Get that out, lift up on this ring. That's going to drop these all the way to the ground. As I drop them, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris. Sinking into the hot black top better distributes the weight. Once it's down there, a couple cranks to the right, bring it down just until it's taut. Remember, our unit's already level. We just want to stabilize it. So get all 4 of them down. Got your unit level and stable. Now we can hook up our power and water. We've got a big long 50 amp cord plugs in here on the rear. It's the new pistol grip. That'll go in, say about 11 o'clock. Turn it to noon, put your washer on, you're all set to go. Should you need to plug into a 30 amp, got the convenience pack, that'll bring you from 50 down to 30, and if necessary, 30 down to 15 for a 110. All right, got your power hooked up, hook up your water. All right, at campsite, we'll hook up down here on the bottom to city water connection. Grab your water pressure regulator, hook that up, hook up your hose. Don't turn on your hose yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Yours is located over here on the campsite. And all we're doing at this point, folks, is making sure our drain plug is turned all the way to the right. We may have drained our water out of that the last time we were using it. Just want to make sure that it is closed back up before we go ahead and turn that hose on. After that hose has been out for a few minutes, go inside, open up our slide, get to all the water taps. Your sinks, your showers, turn them on, get a nice steady flow of water going through them, shut them off, and you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go dry camping. In that case, over here on the campsite is your freshwater tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can gravity fill these with a hose. 2 ways to tell it's full. 1, there's an overflow valve right here, or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that when you're filling it up. Don't leave it unattended. Once it's full, remove that or the hose and then put your cap back on there. And then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked to the city water. That's already pressurized. All right, so all ready to set the camp with power and water. Let me walk you around the rest of the unit. Continuing up here in the front, you got a big pass-through storage with lighting, and this is a docking light for out front here. Up there is where you can store your crank handles at. Your propane has a cover. Comes with a regulator, just pointed toward the tank you wish to be using, and lefty-loosey to open. show you your batteries here. Coming down your off camp side, there's your battery disconnect. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector. Coming down our off camp side. Black tank flush, we'll talk about that when dumping our black and gray tanks. Again, your city water. Your low point drains. The big long white one there is going to be for your fresh water. Separate entryway into your bunk room. Make sure you keep that locked. Here's where you plug in cable or satellite. You got a cover for your tire. Keep that on there. That's going to keep that from dry rotting in the sun over time. You prep for a backup camera. You got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there 2-3 times a year. Check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. Down here's your quick connect for your propane, for your J port griddle. We'll talk about that in a minute. There's your low point drains. So here's your griddle. This J port arm will come up and out of here. We'll slide into here. And then this will flip upside down onto that. That's how that'll set up. There's a quick connect LP for your connect right there. There's your griddle to set over there. Spray port hose will connect right there. You got charging ports, a 110 out here. Lighting, outdoor fridge. Magnetic. So watch that when that's up there. Again, your hot water heater. Down here's a flute for your furnace. A few things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, when you are running it, steer clear of it. It does get hot. And we also sell bug guards for those. Good investment. Out here you got a couple outdoor speakers. A vent for your hood range. This is a mount for your TV that can lift right up off here and mount indoors as well. There's your cable 110 for your TV. Again, our freshwater tank. A light for our porch. That is a manual override hand crank for your slide should you lose power. That about covers everything out here. Let's take a look on the inside. Alright, coming up inside the unit. First thing I always like to point out is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with knows that the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway. Also by the entry doorway to my left is going to be some control panels. It's my hot water heater. We'll get to that in a minute. Down here is going to be my control panel where we can turn on our living room and awning lights. Up here is where we check the level of our battery. Fresh, black, and gray tanks. Have freshwater buttons. One I said to watch when you're filling up your freshwater or potable water. Don't let that overfill. Here's where you turn on the water pump to get to that water. Slide, extend, and retract. The only thing I recommend before running this slide out is glance at your doors right here and make sure those entertainment doors are closed so that your slide, when hitting extend, doesn't catch some doors on the way out. Right above me in the entry doorway is my smoke alarm. Down here is your carbon monoxide propane detector. Slide gets out. That's telling you that it's all the way out. With that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and bring this door closed a little bit. That is on a friction, a hydraulic to hold that open for you. Alright, I'm going to open that back up and mention your awning. I'm going to start to run it out and just tell you that when you run these out, you only run it out until the flap falls down to 90 degrees and you can see the bar. If you hold extend out past that point, it will run itself out past that and run itself up onto itself. You're also going to want to make sure that this door is out of the way because it's pretty close to it, and you're going to want it closed when running it all the way out. Alright, coming up into the unit. I'm going to stop, come up here to turn on your hot water heater. Here you turn it on and off at. 115 is a good degree. You can change that setting if you need to. On the corner, sound system, AM, FM, Bluetooth. See if we can get anything to come in this morning. There we go with the indoor and outdoor speakers. Again, Bluetooth, auxiliary, ARC, and HDMI. Television. One thing I recommend on this is that when you get to the campsite, you run a digital channel scan so that you can pick up all the local channels wherever you're at. That is also on a swivel. Make sure you snap it back square before you take off and go anywhere. We've also got a remote for our fireplace. Just want to mention on this, it's not just about looks anymore. It's all the way on the right. We're going to turn this on. I can change the color of the flames. Make that all pretty bright or dimmer, but the biggest thing is the heat, folks. If it's chilly in here in the morning or evening, you crank this heat up, save your gas if you're at a campsite, use this heater right here and it'll get it toasty in here in no time. 110 and charging port here. These are completely removable cup holders. And we have what's called parachute pull recliner. Pull up on that. There's your recliner. Use your legs to push it back down. Make sure it locks in. Again, these are completely removable. Just make sure that you have them snapped in here or underneath your bed and in storage before traveling. Your table will fold down as well. Sit right down on top of these metal lips. Put your flat cushions on top. Gives you a small little sleeping quarters. Back here in the corner is a charging port in 110. If you're sitting here playing cards or something. Continuing around in the kitchen, just want to mention these new fridges are capable of open from either side. So just whatever side you use, try to keep using that side and make sure that you snap them all the way closed. Because if you don't snap them all the way closed, when you go to open up the other side, it'll fall right off. Keep that in mind. Below your fridge, breaker box enthusiast. Got a ton of 15s, handful of 25s. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go. Up above cooktop is a self-explanatory microwave, fan, and light. We got a panel light here. Just roll these backwards. You'll turn this to light, you hit your spark, and that'll light these up when your gas is on. Same thing on the oven. You'll just turn it to that flame, spark it here. If you look down here, you'll be able to see the reflection of the flame once it's lit, and then turn it to your desired temperature. Rock that panel light down, and it's an oven light. Make sure this glass top is down for traveling. We'll charge the port here. 110 and USBs, both sizes. Knife rack back here. I think we'll head back to the bunk room. Here's a door that you want to have bungeed open for traveling so that doesn't bounce all over on you. Yeah, I can't trick you to do one-handed, but we'll get it on there. There we go. All right, up in here we do got a lot of individual one-touch lighting that you can shut off by yourself. Charging ports up here. This will come down into a ladder. Fold it back up against the wall and lock it in. Charging ports 110 again. A little sofa that has a cup holder or will jackknife down into a bed. Keep this door locked. It's back. And then tell you also underneath here is a removable table. Let's head back on to our bedroom. Mention in here Charging ports here. You do have a hand crank open exhaust vent in here. You're prepped for a TV here. Get the same type of backer that's outside that you can move that TV in both spots. This is your solar controller panel. The whole purpose of this is to keep your solar panels from overcharging your battery. Your whole purpose in using this is you just need to make sure that it stays on your flooded battery. Once it's set there, it usually does. I'll send you a separate video from GoPower on this. Also in the hall is our Furrion thermostat. Go ahead and turn that on. We're in zone 1. Let me try to find the AC. It's on auto. I want to go to cool. So you can't see much on this camera. But real simple system to use here. There's your AC cranking. I can quick blast that. Simple system. Programs your zones and your modes. You can set it for sleep. There's actually a manual on this Furrion controller inside there, but you can also download from the app right there with that QR code. I'm in the bathroom. Another hand crank open power exhaust vent that turns on from down here. Oh, let me show. There it goes. Turn on and off from here. Lighting 110 with GFCI reset. Not much more to talk about in there. Shut off our lights. And I think I've covered everything in here. Let's act like we're going to leave the campsite and close the unit up. We're putting doors where they should be. Shutting off lights. Cutting my control panel. Shut off my main lights. Then I can see all the lights that I got to walk through and individually shut off by hand. Shut my bunk room. Accent lighting's on all these. Same thing in our dining. So let's get all of our lights off. Come back to my control panel and turn on my living room lights. That way I can shut these off on the way out. And say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede our slab from coming in. I'll show you a light that I forgot. Shut all of our vents. And slide retract. Very important, make sure these doors right here are closed. And I mentioned to make sure they're closed on the way out. Once that's in, shut off my living room lights and exit the unit. Now on these steps, you really make sure this door is all the way out. They are adjustable by moving these cotter pins. Set it up inside. Lock that in there. That's going to keep it from banging against your screen here. Now before we leave the dump station, we're going to lock, deadbolt, lift and turn that handle. That's how you want that handle for traveling. If we are boondocking, dry camping, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks. Come around here to this middle low point drain. Pull that handle and dump our freshwater drain. And head on home to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks. Unhook our power, our water, our cable. Hook up our hitch and head on up to the dump station. Now, the dump station park accordingly. You got a 10-foot hose, comes your convenience pack. Your dump is going to be between your front and your tires on your driver's side. Park accordingly. Hook up that hose and pull your black holding tank. Clear black handle right there. When it sounds like it's no longer draining, Go inside, check the level of your black tank. Shows empty or pretty close to it. Come back out here, close that black handle. Excuse me. Come back out here, leave that black handle open. Grab the hose at the dump station and hook up to this tank flush valve. Now again, emphasizing leaving that handle open. Turn on that hose and let that run for a good 5 minutes. Once that's done, remove that hose. Make sure all that washout water you just put in there has drained. Then you can close that and pull your gray handle. When that gray is done, pull your second gray. There's going to be cleaner water as your sinks and your showers. That'll clean your sewage hose out for you. When that's done, close your last gray. Take the sewage hose and conveniently, more importantly sanitarily, store it right here in your bumper and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Jayfeather for many years to come. Happy camping.